So after we clarified why IG is superior and out of all the short form sites, why this is the one you want to place your bet on and why this should be a primary traffic source, which so far I think everyone understands, now the question is left, who should actually do IG Reels and who should stay away from that? And there's a very important distinction to do here because Reels work for almost any creator, right? That's not the issue we're facing here, but they do not work for every agency. So there are 3 gates and you need to pass through all of those to actually be eligible to make a lot of money with that. And the first gate is your agency, because the one thing Instagram needs is attention and marketing skill, because you're not going to be able to tech your way through it, right? You won't be able, like on other traffic sources like Reddit, dating apps, whatever you might have done in the past, that you can kind of find a shortcut. You can kind of find a solution. Oh, like I can just create 5,000 accounts, I'll make views. It doesn't work like that. At least it doesn't work like it's supposed to. You're not going to be competitive. So what Instagram is going to need from you and your agency is daily attention and actually real marketing skills, which after you watch this video till the end shouldn't be a big issue anymore. But I'll say that right now, you will actually have to figure out short form marketing. Otherwise you're going to fail. And if that scares you, you probably shouldn't do that. But if that excites you, aka I just need to figure out how to do short form marketing, and you're telling me I get an audience of billions of people every single day if I do it right. If that excites you, you're perfectly right at this traffic source. And I can tell you from personal experience, right? I've hosted a bunch of meetups, networking events, even big ass events like in Warsaw or Prague with like my Telegram community, with my Instagram community, even with OFMOS. And every agency I've met that is doing 7 figures or more per month, their CEO to this day is still super deep in the marketing, actively running it, right? And this is the part that all the gurus on YouTube, all the guys on Instagram, they're skipping this entirely, because if your plan is to kind of just run it for a month and then outsource it to like 15 posting VAs and just let the creator do their thing, this is not going to be one of those sources. This is not agency dependent. You can't just outsource that like that. Don't bother trying if you're looking for some passive income. This is maximum input, maximum output. This is putting in the time, putting in the effort, and getting the most amount of money in the OFM space out of it. This is the Champions League compared to Reddit, for example, which is kind of like the normal football soccer league. If you win the normal soccer league, yeah, some people might remember your name. But if you win the Champions League, you win the game. And this is the same in OFM. Now, the second gate, which is not up to you, but it's in your responsibility, is the creator itself. Because obviously the creator looks-wise or the creator personality-wise might have a chance on Instagram regardless of who she is. But in terms of her work ethic and the stuff that she does, she has a very specific cadence that we need to hit at a minimum so she actually pops on Reels. So out of all the creators I've worked with, the creators I've seen in OFMOS, the cadence we see that is required to even hit 6-figure months purely off of Instagram is at least 2 or 3 edited Reels per account per day, which puts you between 6 and 20 Reels that she has to record every single day. And no, we won't repost. She has to record between 5 and 20 Reels every single day, plus at least 2 or 4 trial Reels every single day on top. So across like 2 or 8 accounts per creator, and I'll tell you right now, because this is gonna be important later, 10 accounts is your hard ceiling. Don't get famoosed by people that tell you, oh, just run like 500 accounts with this phone farm that I'm selling for $9.99 per month. You know, it's all bullshit, because your content is the primary factor that decides if you make money. And this whole multi-account setup, we will get into this later. I'm just going to give you the TLDR, the short version. It's just a ticking time bomb. It's a matter of time till all the accounts get banned again. You still get 0 subs again. This is no way to run a professional business. This is a setup that might even take you to 10K per month, maybe even 20 for a month or 2, which, cool, that's fine. You can buy a Datejust and you can go to Nobu once. But talking about multiple 6 and 7 figures per month, this is no way to run the business. So your creator is going to need at least 20 Reels per day, plus the trials, and all of that through 2 or 8 accounts minimum. So if you really want to push it, we're looking at 70 unique video clips the creator has to record, and she has to follow your instruction doing that. You may have creators in your agency that don't really want to put in the work, right? They just want to kind of get the money, do 1 feed post a week, and that's it. Hard stop here. They are gonna waste your time. Those creators are not gonna be eligible to run the shit smoothly. And you can copy your way into it all you want, but it's just not gonna work out, because she is the #1 bottleneck. This is, like we talked about, a content-only platform. So her willingness to not only hit the KPIs every single day, get the content out there that you need in terms of the volume, but also in terms of the quality, right? Her following your instructions, her putting that extra effort in, is gonna be a make it or break it scenario. And this is why it's the second gate out of the 3. But I'm going to make a very important distinction here. We're talking about filming sessions. We're not saying she has to create like 70 Mr. Beast type of Netflix level productions. It's a flywheel, all right? We're not trying to just grind every single day, put her through like 8 hours of filming. We want to make it efficient. And if we break it down, she's going to look at a couple of hours per work. But she has to want to feed the machine. If she is hesitant, if she is not able to produce, hard stop. Either find a better creator that is eligible for Reels or stop. Because you might think maybe I can kind of make it work. But trust me, from 6 years in this industry and from working with hundreds of agencies, she won't be. All right? You're going to start posting for 2 months and then she's going to stop. And then you wasted 2 months. You wasted your best ideas. You wasted your editors, your team, her time you could have spent on the creator that was actually going to make it work. And the third gate, which should be over pretty quickly, is your equipment in itself. Because obviously we don't need a Christopher Nolan type of like 8K camera that's costing us like $1 gazillion. But we need to make sure our equipment is able to uphold the standard that's required on this platform. So we need at least one good iPhone to record, right? Before you ask me, yes, an iPhone 13 is going to be fine. Also an iPhone 14, also an iPhone 15e/XY, whatever it is. But we need an iPhone with a good camera that is intact, and this is the minimum. If you don't have one, if you can't afford one, if you're at the beginning of your journey, that is fine. But don't try to post content in 480p. That looks like it's filmed on a Samsung smart fridge, because you have to understand this platform is hyper competitive, and the visuals and the look of your video are going to be a major factor in going viral. But we're going to get into that later. So the 3 gates we're looking at are you as the agency. Are you able to put in the time? Are you able to follow the vision that Instagram requires of you being involved in the marketing process actively, making it your main bet? Is the creator able to get the volume that you need, and is she able to do it diligently with high quality? And for the pipeline and the iPhone, are you able to uphold quality standards at least to a minimum? Later on in the game, we can invest in cameras, we can invest in lighting and better microphones. That's all along the way. You don't need to invest in that now, but you need to have the basic equipment to make this work. And if you know that at least one of them will fail, don't start. Don't fully focus on it. Fix that first. I guarantee you that. It's like going into a boxing gym when you say, okay, I got good stamina. I also got the mindset to be a fighter, right? Cool. I'm also pretty much in shape, and I've also used to box before, but I'm in a wheelchair. Like, even if just one attribute is missing, you're going to have massive problems. And I just want you to understand that when it comes to Instagram, you're placing a bet. You're placing a bet that this is going to be your main traffic source for a long time. And maybe you don't see it right now, but your main currency in the agency isn't money, even though it might feel like that. But especially after you hit the first 10K a month, money stops being the main problem that you have. Money stops being the thing you wake up and need every single day. What the actual currency is attention, and it's focus. And wasting your time, wasting your attention, wasting your focus that you could spend on a good creator, on a good profile, with a good iPhone, with good focus, wasting that on mediocre gates, if even one of them is missing, is going to crush the agency. And I've seen it more than I can count.